The Balkans. A place filled with centuries of history, mouth-watering food, beautiful women, and less stability than a Portland University dorm room. And you want to move here. Over the past couple of years, I've encountered this phenomenon where numerous Westoids are seeking to move to the Balkans en masse. Which just... why? And after having 4 encounters with Canadians and 1 Englishman in an Irish pub in Serbia who all decided to move and live here, I have felt inspired to make this video. Now, in recent times, the Balkans have been catching the public's eye more and more as more creators keep making videos on how cute and hashtag quirky our culture is.
Balkan relations.
I know this as I'm the first one guilty of this, but as much as I love my homeland and every dysfunctional square meter of it, I feel a bit concerned. Upon encountering immigrants from Canada, I just have to ask them what exactly brought them here, because usually it's the other way around.
I'm from Bosnia, take me to America.
The answer that followed would be concerning to say the least, as many seem to have quite a rosy picture of what life here is actually like and what their life here would be like. So, as someone who's been living here for the majority of his life and has been to every single Balkan country and lived in several Balkan countries as well, I feel that it is my civil duty to expel some of these myths and actually paint a clear picture of what life here is actually like. So, if you're looking to become an expat, immigrant, and move here, this video's for you. If not, you should still watch it because God knows I need the money so I can finally move to Germany. One of the first reasons I hear people move to the Balkans is because they are more conservative than the West. And on first glance, yes, this is true, but no, not really. Compared to the West, the Balkans are more nationalistic, they have higher family values, they're also quite a bit more religious, and aren't as LGBT friendly. However, this does not mean that they are a conservative society as is found in the south of the US, or wherever it is that they sleep with their cousins. The entirety of the Balkans, when it comes to politics and policy, follow the EU model, with their governments essentially being welfare states. Unsuccessful welfare states, but welfare states nonetheless. Most of the countries have abysmally high income tax rates, on average somewhere around 40%, which are the same no matter how much you earn. And their VATs are somewhere on average 20%, give or take some countries. Their governments are extremely involved in policy and regulation when it comes to almost anything. And they all also have a vast bureaucracy which just makes you want to blow your brains out with their top-notch efficiency, amazing friendliness, and pure transparency. As most of these countries have also been under communism.
Pomenem Jugoslaviju, čega se vi najradije sjetite?
Tite, brate, Tite. Nemam riječi.
Čega se sjećam?
Sve najljepše bilo, ovo danas ne valja.
Up until the rad years of the 90s, most of the mindset and ethos here is quite collectivist. Living on your own plot of land in the middle of wolf nowhere isn't quite as popular here as it is in the US, and your neighbors are very much still going to meddle their nose in your business. Alongside that, no matter where you live, especially if you live in a village, they will expect you to be a part of the community and contribute. Also, if you're neurodivergent, and no, I don't mean that you think that seizing the means of production is a viable economic system, but autistic, depressed, OCD, BPD, like big anime titties, do not expect to get any sympathy or accommodation for your shortcomings. Mental health here is extremely stigmatized, so be aware of that. Another popular reason for moving to the Balkans and Eastern Europe as a whole has been dating. Now, I'm quite aware that the dating scene in the West is terrible, as is the case in most of the world, except maybe for Afghanistan. In Afghanistan it's quite good.
Oh Allah the Almighty,
However, the Balkans aren't the promised land of procreation. As I mentioned before, the Balkans are a quite more conservative part of Europe, and as such, dating here takes more of a conservative tone as well. Dating here is much more traditional, and while yes, hookup culture does exist, it is much rarer, and many people here date in the hopes of finding a long-lasting partner and relationship. Which on paper sounds great, until you realize it isn't. I mean, who in their right mind would want to be in a long-term relationship with a woman? Am I right? Most people only go out with their own friend circles and aren't that happy about meeting other people at bars or parties unless someone from their own friend circle already knows that person. Bars here aren't in the Western style at all, and barmans and the wait staff won't be as friendly or interested in making conversation with you. They'll just be looking to serve you and get their job done. Going up to a group of girls, or anyone for that matter, in a crowded pub and trying to introduce yourself and ask for their number will usually guarantee you a bunch of weird stares and politely asking you to leave them alone so they can go back to their own conversation. And even if you are able to make it in a circle of friends and meet a cute girl there, it is first expected for you two to become friends before anything else can occur. And this can take quite a while. It also doesn't help your case that because, again, the culture is more conservative, dating a foreigner isn't as appealing as it is somewhere in the West, because their families might gossip about their daughter or son dating someone who isn't one of their own. Thus, dating a foreigner is a bit unpopular, but not impossible. But there is a remedy for that. My merch! Go up in the club wearing this bad boy and all the women and men in the club will be all over you. So go to the Ironic shop and grab yourself a shirt of your favorite country or Elizabeth to help support the channel. Ironic shop, unironic drip. When it comes to America and Brits, one of the reasons for them leaving their country is healthcare. While in theory healthcare in the Balkans is decent, in practice that's not really the case. Much like in most of Europe, healthcare here in the Balkans is extremely socialized and theoretically easily accessible to everyone. However, upon actually needing medical attention, you will soon realize that this is in fact the Balkans. More often than not, although you have full coverage, the medical procedures here provided by health institutions are quite limited. A lot of medicine that is available in the West simply isn't available here, and it isn't uncommon that you have to purchase medical supplies out of pocket for procedures beforehand, despite, again, your full coverage. Waiting times to see a specialist or get an exam or a procedure done can be extremely long, with several month-long waiting lists. Because of the stark limitations of the medical system here, a lot of citizens are forced to seek medical attention in Western Europe or the US, again depending on a case-by-case basis. To be fair, private healthcare is still available, however it's quite costly. For example, ADHD meds in Serbia are practically non-existent. Also, a lot of medicine that in the West is considered alternative medicine, such as remedies for respiratory and sinus issues, here are considered actual medicine. Another popular reason for which many Westoids decide to move to the Balkans is higher education. Without any unreasonable doubt, the education here in the Balkans is top-notch. No, really. No, I'm serious. It's great. Can you stop that? Some of the best universities in the world call this place their home, such as the University of Belgrade, the University of Zagreb, the University of Babeș Bolyai, Megatrend, and many others. They are also quite affordable for locals and foreigners alike. With that being said, the education here differs greatly compared to that in North America. Unlike in the US and Canada, the education system here focuses on rigorous and continual memorization as opposed to critical thinking. Classroom discussions are kept to a minimum, and you have much less choice when it comes to subjects that you can choose as a part of your curriculum. If you're lucky, you may be able to pick 2 of your classes per semester out of a choice of maybe like 4. You will be academically challenged, and no, the professors aren't the friendliest. I have a friend who went to take an exam for university. He studied the subject matter, learned it in and out. He went out to an oral exam, drew a question that he knew. He answered it correctly as the professor told him so. However, the professor then still failed him because he thought that the question that he drew was too easy for him. True story. And that isn't the only case of Balkan bullshit at universities here. If you've only lived in the West and have not had experience with living in a second or third world country, one of the hardest things to adjust to is definitely the quality and amount of products available. This is evident in the average grocery store and even more so in any hobby store. Alongside this, many of the goods available are usually of a medium or lower quality. China exports many of its products here, and no, they're not known for their best grade. When traveling back home or anywhere in the West, be prepared to take an extra suitcase just to bring back all the goodies that you're gonna miss and any of the stuff that your friends are going to ask you for. But if you still choose to move here, all in all, you will meet some great people and have a great time. Just prepare yourself for a not so pleasant culture shock when it comes to bureaucracy and social norms. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, consider becoming a member like these lovely people. Or if you'd like, you can go to the Ironic shop and purchase yourself a shirt, which will help the channel grow, or join the postcard club. Links are down in the description. My name is Janos, and you've watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Hey, hey, why are